We are following developing news tonight. The NASCAR family, the entire sports world, united in prayer for number 6. Prayers across the country being sent tonight for NASCAR driver Ryan Newman, involved in a horrific last lap crash at the 2020 running of the Daytona 500. You watched it on Fox. Hey there, everybody. JP Buno here with you in the WFLA Now Stream Center. We are live with you in a special broadcast tonight because many of you, like us, we are hoping and praying that Ryan Newman is doing okay tonight. He is at Halifax Health Hospital in Daytona Beach. We are awaiting an official word from NASCAR, from his team, from others, any official word that we are getting regarding Ryan Newman's status. If you were watching the race, the 2020 Daytona 500 on Fox, you saw that terrible crash before Denny Hamlin went on to win the Daytona 500, that terrible crash. Let's show you here again. On the left side of your screen is a live picture with a reporter that just now stepped in front of that live feed here from the hospital. Again, that is Halifax Health Hospital in Daytona Beach. The right side of your screen, just some of the photos that we've gathered here over the years of Ryan Newman, fans, family members from Daytona, elsewhere. This is a man who has won the Daytona 500, a well-respected driver on the circuit. An outpouring of support tonight on Twitter. The very latest that we have for you folks comes from his team, Roush Yates Engines. I'll bring it up here for you on your screen. And the latest that we have here, as you see here, it says, and we'll go full screen so you guys can see, no official word yet. Please join us in sending prayers for Ryan Newman, Roush Fenway, the Ford Performance family, and all of the larger NASCAR family. These moments are never easy. And then 56 minutes ago, we asked that out of respect for privacy, that you please do not speculate on Ryan Newman's condition until an official statement has been issued by NASCAR, Ford Performance, or Roush Fenway Racing. Thank you. And then just beneath it, you see the retweet here from Roush Yates, from Dale Earnhardt Jr. Big prayers for Ryan Newman. This is all unfolding, everybody, really in the last several hours since that race came to that terrible ending. Of course, Denny Hamlin is your Daytona 500 champion. But all of the focus right now on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, NASCAR fans across the world, really around the world, honing in right now on what's going on right here at Halifax Health Hospital in Daytona Beach. Again, this reporter is preparing for a live report. Occasionally, we've seen this camera pan over to the side to show some of the fans that have gathered. Fans who so concerned over what happened to Ryan Newman there on the last lap at Daytona International Speedway that they came here to the hospital in Daytona Beach. For those of you unfamiliar with what happens in Daytona, usually the night of the race is a big celebration, a big party. The infield, outside of the track itself, many other areas around the speedway, and united in celebration. Tonight, it's a little bit of a different tone, somber. As everyone is hoping that the next update that we hear from Ryan Newman is a good one, from Ryan Newman's team is a good one, that number 6 is doing okay tonight. Again, getting you back out here. We're going to be monitoring that feed. We might also be able to bring you that reporter's live report here momentarily. This is a reporter for WESH 2 in Orlando, our NBC sister station here. And then here on the Of course, on the right side of your screen, these are just some of the images coming in of that terrible crash that you saw at the end of the Daytona 500. Number 6, going airborne. Ryan Blaney pushing number 6, trying to give him a little bit of momentum. It was a fierce competition there at the end between Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and, of course, Ryan Newman. And that push by Blaney there towards the end, sending number 6 here, Ryan Newman, airborne. The pictures are hard to fathom here as we're looking at them. Many of these pictures, I'm looking at these still images here, I'm looking at for the first time. When you see the crash in slow motion, when you see it in regular speed, no matter which speed you see it at or how quickly you see it, it makes your heart sink. And that's why we have so many prayers pouring in tonight for Ryan Newman. The NASCAR official Twitter account, I believe that I can show it to you here on the screen, everybody. If I hit this button, there we go. Not much from NASCAR. If you go to NASCAR's official Twitter account tonight, most of the focus, of course, on the winner, Denny Hamlin. There has not been an official statement from NASCAR on social media yet regarding the status of their own Ryan Newman in the number 6 car. So we are following NASCAR on Twitter. We're following Roush Yates Engines on Twitter. Many other areas on social media to give you any word as soon as we have it. Here we have Doug Yates, of course, CEO of Roush Yates Racing, tweeting out the prayer emoji in support of Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman, of course, trending on social media as so many prayers continue to come in for the driver. Everyone hoping. I mean, this is a story that might keep you up late at night. This is a story that if you saw that crash, if you saw the way that it ended, if you saw how the driver's side of the number 6 was hit, you're just obviously so unbelievably concerned, and you might not be able to go to sleep at a normal hour tonight because you're just wondering if there's going to be any update, any moment from Twitter, from Roush Yates Racing, other Twitter accounts, anything official on the record from NASCAR. We're just hoping to get some kind of update to keep you informed. And I know that many people out there are hoping that we get that kind of an update tonight, but we have not heard. We know that there's going to be speculation on social media, and as soon as we have an update for you, we'll, of course, pass it along here to you from the WFLA Now Stream Center. I'm JB Buno, everybody. We're continuing to monitor this developing news here. Again, on the left side of your screen, we have a reporter for Western Orlando preparing for a live report. I believe that live report is approximately 5 minutes away. And then we'll go back here. How about some pictures on the right side of your screen, everybody, of Ryan Newman, a beloved NASCAR driver, number 6, former Daytona 500 winner, a long resume from racing in NASCAR, starting in the Infinity Cup Series, moving on to the Cup Series, of course. If you've been following all the action on social media tonight, you know that this is a driver who loves to take time and speak to the fans. There you see him there with Danica Patrick. So of course, spending time with his family, which is not unheard of course, when it comes to NASCAR. Drivers, of course, always bringing their family to the track, making their family a big part of their lives. Here you see him here with 2 of his young girls. As soon as we have an update, of course, everybody, we're going to be passing it along here to you. We are awaiting any kind of official note from NASCAR, from Ryan Newman's team. As soon as we have it, we're going to be passing it along here to you. We're also waiting on this live report here from the reporter here on the left side of your screen. Everybody, as soon as we can, we will let you know and bring you that here live. Again, JB Buno here in the WFLA Now Stream Center, everybody. We are awaiting any word from Roush Yates Engines on Twitter regarding the status of Ryan Newman. As soon as we have an update here for you after that terrible final lap crash, we'll, of course, let you know about it here, everybody. We're monitoring several different feeds here to keep everybody informed as to the latest. What I'm going to do here, everybody, is I'm going to bring up some of our Facebook comments. Of course, we have many people here tuning in. And what I'm going to do here, everybody, is while we're waiting, I'm going to bring up our Facebook Live comments and see if we can just give some people some shout-outs. Some of the people that are sending in prayers, people like Christy Cunningham sending in prayers, Gina Roberts Crawford in the Facebook Live comment section saying prayers from Florida, prayers from Venice, Florida. Karen Marie Wade Johnson in the Facebook Live comment section saying, sweet little girls, commenting about Ryan Newman's family. The outpouring of support, the love that is coming out from NASCAR fans really around the world. Many of them I know are tuning in right now from Daytona International Speedway, just hoping to get some bit of information here. Again, we are juggling a lot of different feeds that are coming in here simultaneously, everybody. As soon as we have some kind of official note that we can pass along regarding Ryan Newman's status, we'll, of course, let you know about it here from the WFLA Now Stream Center. Again, we've been streaming all week long, everybody, with Countdown to Daytona. We were under the impression that the last Countdown to Daytona stream that we were going to be doing with Dan Lucas and Kevin Connolly was this afternoon after the race postponement This, of course, with the terrible rain that we had on Sunday night, forcing the postponement or really the delay of the Daytona 500, the restart, of course, happening this Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock. There was, of course, such a beautiful display of patriotism on that Sunday with President Trump making the laps with his motorcade, with the flyover. We had beautiful sunny skies. Rain delayed the Daytona 500 after 20 laps until Monday, today's 4 o'clock restart. When we got in, for the most part, what was a clean race up until really the final stage when, of course, drivers starting to really, as they inch closer to Daytona 500 glory, starting to push pedal to the metal, trying to get to victory lane. We saw several crashes, of course, getting into overtime here, but all of the focus then turned to Ryan Newman in that terrible crash on the final lap here, everybody. Here's some of the still images that we've been looking at. The number 6 going airborne. And when this happened, for those of you who were watching that Fox broadcast, that Fox Sports broadcast, it was the attention quickly, of course, shifting from Denny Hamlin in victory lane to what is going on with Ryan Newman. Is he okay? We saw his car flipped upside down. Media members were told to stay away. And all the focus was on Ryan Newman, even as Denny Hamlin claimed his 3rd Daytona 500 with really a thrilling, one of the closest races that we've ever had, one of the most thrilling finishes you'll ever see. But it really is a testament to NASCAR fans out there that there's more concern tonight for Ryan Newman than there is for Denny Hamlin. Of course, there's been a lot of social media talk as to why Denny Hamlin was celebrating as much as he was in the aftermath, doing the burnout, celebrating in such a, I guess you could say, just as you would expect a Daytona 500 to celebrate, Daytona 500 champion to celebrate, rather. But as many people have pointed out on social media, it is very difficult when you have all of that adrenaline, the thrill of winning the biggest race in the world. It's hard to really fully grasp and understand what's going on behind you. So there's been a lot of social media conversation as to whether or not Denny Hamlin's celebration after the Daytona 500 was appropriate. He has received backlash on social media, but as many NASCAR purists have been quick to point out, it's not exactly clear as to whether or not Denny Hamlin was fully aware of how horrific the crash was, the crash that had happened behind him. Again, the 3 drivers that were fighting for first place, it was Blaney, Newman, and the champion, Denny Hamlin. Again, everybody, we're going to take just a quick moment here to reset, check all of our information. I'll be back here momentarily just to see if we have any new information regarding Ryan Newman. Stand by. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
An update on Ryan Newman. He's been transported to Halifax Medical Center, undergoing further treatment and evaluation. We've been in continual dialogue with the race team and Ryan's family, and on behalf of Roush Racing, they've asked us to read a statement to give you an update, and the statement reads as follows. Ryan Newman is being treated at Halifax Medical Center. He's in serious condition, but doctors have indicated his injuries are non-life-threatening. We appreciate your thoughts and prayers and ask that you respect the privacy of Ryan and his family during this time. We appreciate your patience and cooperation and will provide more information as it becomes available. That's the end of the statement. And then certainly on our behalf, we're going to continue to work with the race team and Ryan's family to support them in any way we can. We'd ask that you respect their privacy, and going forward, we'll provide updates as we can, but at this time, our thoughts are with Ryan and his family. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
For those of you who missed it, JB Buna here in the WFLA Now Stream Center. Again, that was the official statement from Daytona International Speedway, NASCAR, saying that Ryan Newman is in serious condition. Again, serious condition at Halifax Health Hospital in Daytona Beach. That is the latest that we have here from NASCAR. Of course, you never want to point to saying that there's fortunate news, but I think that there is some relief after people seeing that crash, wondering if Ryan Newman had lost his life tonight at Daytona International Speedway. I would imagine that there is now renewed calls for prayers tonight, now knowing that Daytona's here at Daytona, that Ryan Newman is alive after suffering serious injuries in that last lap crash. Everybody, we're stepping away here for just a moment to reset. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. JB Buno here with you again in the WFLA Now Stream Center. That is the news that I think that we were hoping to hear, that Ryan Newman is alive, suffering serious injuries, but non-life-threatening injuries. I'm being told here, everybody. We have, I believe, the official statement that was just read here, and I think I can bring it up here on my screen, everybody, if you bear with me for just 1 second. And here it is. Let's go full screen so everybody here, we can read this all together. Daytona Beach, Florida, February 16th, 2020. Ryan Newman is being treated at Halifax Medical Center. He is in serious condition, but doctors have indicated his injuries are non-life-threatening. We appreciate your thoughts and prayers and ask that you respect the privacy of Ryan and his family during this time. We appreciate your patience and cooperation, and we will be providing more information as it becomes available. That's the end of the statement from Roush Fenway racing driver Ryan Newman, or excuse me, a statement on behalf of his status. Again, a statement that I'm sure was crafted with NASCAR and Roush Fenway Racing. The key words here, everybody, are non-life-threatening, not life-threatening injuries. According to doctors, he is in serious condition, but is expected to survive, according to this statement from NASCAR, from Roush Fenway Racing. My goodness, what incredible news that is. I was at home watching the 2020 Daytona 500 from Daytona International Speedway. I was watching it on Fox. Of course, you just want to know who's going to win. After all the crashes that we had with Denny Hamlin sitting in a really good position, you're thinking, what kind of a finish are we going to get this year at Daytona International Speedway? And, of course, things quickly shifted. The moment that you saw Ryan Newman get hit on the driver's side portion of his vehicle, go airborne, you saw the small fire that broke out. You saw him come to a rest upside down there at Daytona International Speedway. I was not alone. Thousands, tens of thousands, if not more, were watching their television screens in horror, wondering if we had a tragedy here. This has been a really, really difficult first few months of 2020. For those of you, you don't even have to be an NBA fan. With what happened with Kobe Bryant this past year, we were at the Super Bowl, covering the Super Bowl when the news broke that that Kobe Bryant had lost his life in California in that terrible helicopter crash, along with others, including his daughter. Your heart sinks, and you think to yourself, life is so precious. Life is just so unbelievably precious. And for Ryan Newman and his family tonight, we can't even imagine what they were going through when they saw that car go airborne at Daytona International Speedway. We've heard of so many other stories of tragedies going on in NASCAR. It is a part of the sport. These athletes, these drivers, they push themselves to the limit. And to have that happen on live television in real time when everyone is tuning in, even the casual sports fans out there, if they're not watching the entirety of the race, if you are curious about the Daytona 500 as the biggest race in the world, you're tuning in for the last couple of laps. You want to see who's going to win. So for a peak television audience across the country, around the world, tuning in and seeing what happened to Ryan Newman, it makes your heart sink, and it makes you realize that that these NASCAR drivers, when they get in the car every single time, that they are doing something that is extremely dangerous. It's for the thrill of the fans. It's for the thrill of the sport. It's for, of course, the sport that so many of us just absolutely love. But it comes with a true sense of danger, and one that that Ryan Newman came so close tonight, so close. But again, the statement that we're seeing here, doctors indicating his injuries are non-life-threatening. Non-life-threatening. Serious, but non-life-threatening. What could that mean? I'm no doctor, but we could, of course, point to similar instances that we've had in the past with athletes, not even just NASCAR drivers, but when you have a serious, not even really just sports, here in the news industry, when we're talking about serious condition but non-life-threatening, we're talking about perhaps many broken bones. We're perhaps talking about several significant lacerations, bruises. It's hard to, there's no way to even come close to having any idea of what type of injuries we're talking about here, where they are on Ryan Newman. They are serious in nature, but non-life-threatening, which means that that he will likely be in the hospital for some time, but he is expected to survive, and that is the news that NASCAR fans everywhere wanted to hear, and we're really so very lucky that we are not dealing with a very different statement tonight from NASCAR. Everyone here on the Countdown to Daytona family, everyone here that we've been working with from NASCAR, I'm sure, sending their prayers tonight for Ryan Newman, his family, to Roush Fenway Racing, to everybody in the NASCAR family, to all the fans joining us. I think just when you see the outpouring of support tonight, and you see how many tweets and how many Facebook comments and how many messages and how many shares, my goodness, it really just goes to show that that this is not a moment that we're going to forget, that people are going to remember the 2020 Daytona 500. It was of course, a thrilling win for Denny Hamlin, but it's going to be remembered as the race where Ryan Newman gave it his all in that final lap, doing everything he could with the assist from Blaney, the three of them pushing each other, all to give the fans the thrill, all to race into victory lane with a major victory, the biggest victory that there is on the NASCAR circuit. That's what people are going to remember, that Ryan Newman was doing it for the thrill of competition, for the thrill of the fans, and for everything that NASCAR stands for. So everybody, again, if you're just joining us, everybody, it is, of course, unfortunate circumstances that we are reporting on tonight regarding Ryan Newman. But the statement that we finally got from NASCAR, the one that we have just been reading, serious condition but non-life-threatening injuries, this is the update that that people, I think, were praying for given the circumstances. When you think in reality of what could have come out of that crash, and the fact that the media members were told to stay away from the crash site, that they were not allowed to go any closer, that's one thing that I can tell you from being in the media, that's what makes your heart sink, is when media members are told to keep a distance, because we could be talking about a visually horrific scene from inside the number 6 car. And then, of course, him being transported to the hospital, and then that lull of silence, not hearing anything. Every minute that went by, the speculation online and the speculation among NASCAR fans increased as to whether or not somebody had lost their life tonight at Daytona International Speedway. So all things considered, everything that we have been through since the final lap here of the Daytona 500, my goodness, how fortunate it is that we are not dealing with a different scenario. Ryan Newman in serious condition, but expected to survive non-life-threatening injuries suffered by the number 6 driver. I'm trying to read as many comments. Some very unbelievably kind comments. I'm going to read some comments. We're here at WFLA in Tampa, Florida, not too far away from Daytona. I did the drive in a couple hours the other day to and from Daytona International Speedway. We are WFLA, of course, a major part of our parent company's coverage of the Daytona 500 on an annual basis. And I can tell you that from our WFLA Facebook fans that are tuning in, there are a lot of people who are relieved tonight, people who are just overcome with emotion from what I'm reading here in the Facebook Live comment section, that this was not a different outcome. Kathy Bishop sending prayers, God bless. Virginia Quinn, thank God, in big capital letters. Donna Van Lind, they really put their life on the line for the sport for our entertainment. Absolutely. Prayers coming in from Lisa Britt, Sandra Jones, Robert Faustin, Robin Minchie, many other Facebook Live commenters that are joining us on the WFLA Facebook page, and we appreciate you, of course, tuning in with us. We just wanted to give everyone an opportunity to collectively communicate here as we were all sending prayers. I was sending prayers. Everyone was sending prayers for Ryan Newman and his family. And this update that we received just moments ago, again, in that press conference from NASCAR, from Daytona International Speedway, that Ryan Newman is being treated at Halifax Medical Center. He's in serious condition, but doctors saying his injuries are non-life-threatening. This is news that we can only pray for. And I believe that the prayers were answered tonight, that Ryan Newman is going to pull out of this okay, at least okay in the sense that that hopefully he will be able to make a full recovery. With, of course, all the prayers that are coming in, we can only hope that Ryan Newman will one day continue to do what he loves. This is not, if you ever have been around NASCAR drivers, I was around them for Media Day on Wednesday, interviewing them as quickly as humanly possible because Media Day is quite the scene, and you're interviewing so many drivers and trying to get as many of them in a very short amount of time. They all love to race. You can't be behind the wheel of a NASCAR vehicle and not love racing, the thrill of it, the adrenaline rush, the excitement, the fans roaring you on, being in the NASCAR fraternity and being one of those drivers and going out there with the likes of Jimmy Johnson and other NASCAR legends that are currently racing. It's not something that they take for granted. And in my conversations with them, many of them, they feel so lucky on a day-to-day basis to be able to do what they love. I'm forgetting exactly who it was. It might have been Michael McDowell who told me earlier this week, he goes, not only am I grateful to be able to do what I love for a living, but I'm just grateful to have a job. How many people in this country just don't even have a job? Not only do I have a job, but I have a job to be able to race and do what I love and be one of the 40 drivers to get in the car for the Daytona 500. It's a thrill that only few in this country have ever really experienced. And this is something, this fraternity, of course, with so many people following NASCAR and so many people loving the sport for the thrill and the danger of it. We know that these days happen. We know that these crashes have the capability of ending a career just like that. And we don't know if Ryan Newman is ever going to race again. We don't. We know that these serious injuries, that could be anything from from leg injuries to arm injuries to injuries to the shoulders, torso. It could be anywhere, bruises, broken bones. We have no idea. But the key words in the statement that these injuries are non-life-threatening. That's the news, of course, that you wanted to hear. And we can only pray that Mr. Newman, number 6, a former Daytona 500 winner, will be back in the car racing in NASCAR again. And I would imagine that if that does, in fact, happen, or if it doesn't, the day that he makes it back to a track, he's going to receive the loudest ovation of the entire NASCAR season. You can put your money on it, folks. The loudest roar that we are going to have, if, of course, Ryan Newman can make it to a track sometime this NASCAR season, the loudest roar you're going to hear is when hopefully he can give a wave to the crowd, salute the fans. The place is just going to go absolutely crazy. Whether it's Daytona, whether it's Talladega, wherever it might be, it's going to be an enormous showing of support for number 6. I'm going to read a few more comments here, everybody, before we're going to get going. Stay strong, number 6, says Gwen Peterman. Kimmy Ellis says, amen. I don't know if you're amening another comment, Linda, or amening what I was just talking about, but Dave Markle, the main thing is that he's alive, with a thumbs up emoji here. Let's see here. Prayers to Ryan Newman from Rosemarie Jasmine. Mike Schneider saying, thank God, prayers answered from Louisville, Kentucky. Let's see here. Guy Hood saying, NASCAR Nation takes care of their own. Christy Graves, thank God, prayers for all. What a precious family that Ryan has. Let's just think about it for a second. If you're a family member of Ryan Newman's tonight, your heart has been in your stomach since the end of the race, and we can only imagine what it's been like for his closest loved ones throughout this process, and his team. Of course, again, you don't have to be a NASCAR super fan to know that these teams, the drivers from every member of a NASCAR team is close-knit like a family. And yes, business comes into play. Sponsors come into play. Expectations and pressure. There is so much pressure on these drivers to perform. But what you'll see if you've ever been to a NASCAR race is that these drivers and these teams are so tight-knit. I would imagine that it's been almost as difficult for Ryan Newman's family or team members tonight as it was for his family members. So I believe that got it. We're going to be wrapping up here, everybody, momentarily. One more time, let's throw the statement up here on your screen. Statement on status of Roush Fenway Racing driver Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman is being treated at Halifax Medical Center. He is in serious condition, but doctors have indicated his injuries are non-life-threatening. We appreciate your thoughts and prayers and ask that you respect the privacy of Ryan and his family during this time. We appreciate your patience and cooperation. We will be providing more information as it becomes available. Let's just one more time here, everybody. We will get back on Twitter. Let's see if we can check if there's any other tweets here from Roush Yates Racing. It's just a retweet of NASCAR's statement. So prayers for Newman, that hashtag, one of the many that are trending tonight. Everybody, prayers. Prayers are a powerful thing. They are very powerful. And it is it's hard to put into words, really, how fortunate it is that after we witnessed such a terribly horrific crash on the final lap, when these three drivers, really the entire field, but those three drivers especially, were really giving it their all, pushing the limits of the technology that they were in, the cars that they were in, pushing them to the absolute maximum limit or even beyond, to see those three cars go for it, and then at perhaps their peak speed, for that crash to take place, for Ryan Newman to go airborne, for the number 6 to fly across the track, I think hit into the vehicle, be slammed into the vehicle of Corey LaJoy, and then come to a rest upside down. Your heart sank. My heart sank. And we are very fortunate tonight that prayers were answered, that even though we are dealing with a horrific situation with serious injuries, very serious injuries to Ryan Newman, as we can only expect from the statement here. Again, that was what they called it, serious injuries. The fact that these injuries are non-life-threatening and that he is expected to survive really goes to show that the power of prayer is real. And we, of course, ourselves, we are going to be sending prayers tonight for Ryan Newman. Everybody, I'm JB Buno. Thanks so much for watching us here all week long on Countdown to Daytona. We are here at WFLA News Channel 8 in Tampa, Florida, also broadcasting to all of our sister stations via their live streaming applications, websites, social media platforms across the country. We really appreciate you being with us. And again, like many others, countless others on social media tonight, sending prayers for Ryan Newman and his family. Thank you so much for being with us.